Folks, welcome to FiddleHed Fiddle Lessons. We're going to take an Irish tune called Kerry Polka and play it in cross tuning, sawmill tuning, A-E, A-E, and this will give it an Appalachian American sound. Check it out. So now that you've heard a little bit of it, let's learn how to do it. So when I teach this tune, I usually teach it to beginners and teach it in the key of G in standard tuning. So this fiddle here is tuned to sawmill tuning, A-E, A-E, but for people who are just learning, I'll show it to them in G. And so what I'm recommending now is that if you already know it, play the tune in standard tuning, starting A1. Just get it in your fingers and mainly in your ear is what we're after, and just getting the feeling for that tune again. All right, so just a really simple, good idea for warming up. And then I would also say at this point that if you have a second fiddle and you're interested in cross tuning, to keep one of your fiddles tuned to the sawmill tuning, one in standard tuning. I think it's really useful to go between them and kind of be able to shift your mindset. So, but if you don't, that's okay. What it means is like you would just keep it. If you just decide you want to do cross tuning, the best thing would be to stay in that tuning for an extended period of time. Maybe a practice session. Be like, okay, today for this next half hour, I'm just doing cross tuning. And so then you can avoid retuning every 5 or 10 minutes, okay? So, all right, so to warm up for it, again, sawmill tuning, we're doing it in A, so do an A major scale, upper octave, lower octave, I have the same exact fingering. Okay, get that on your fingers. That'll help you find your way with the tuning. And then you could also warm up with a bowing called the pulse. A little like slow acceleration, slow. If you practiced it, you can do it with double stops, catching another string. So if you're interested in that and you don't know how to do the pulse, then I have a dedicated lesson on that with step-by-step play along exercises and sheet music. You can check that out. Okay, so let's get back to it. I think we're about ready to start the tune. As usual, we'll break it down into quarters, starting with the A part, first quarter. Here it is with flow. Now more broken down. All right, so let's learn it without double stops. A2 to open D. That's hoedown pattern. Long, short, short. And then we do first finger on D. Mind you, we're in sawmill tuning. And just loop on that for a while. It's a simple part, but if you're new to this sawmill tuning, that's a really good exercise. And these tunes become like old friends. So if you already learned Kerry Polka, it's like this friend that shows you a new thing. This friend's like, oh, I can help you with that. And that's the way I like to think of when you recycle and reuse tunes. Okay, so now let's just add double stops on beat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Call that the offbeat accent. So right now I'm just bowing that fairly straight. You could do like a Georgia shuffle starting up bow. So down, so starting up bow, up, down, up, down, up. All right, if you like. That's a little bit more advanced variation. Thought I'd throw that in while we're there. Okay, so let's move on to the second quarter of the A part. And more broken down. So let's do it without double stops with the pulsing bow. 2 open A's. 1, 2. So I'm using the pulse throughout that section, slurring 2 notes like. Now the double stop we're hitting will be the string to the left. So like. All right. Another thing you can do is only hit the double stop every other one. So just on the up bow, you can catch a note. Just a variation. All right, so that's the second quarter. Third quarter is the same as the first. I'll review it for you. And then the fourth quarter is a lot like the second quarter. So the main difference is the last 2 notes. Instead of ending D1 open, we end A open 1. So the whole fourth quarter. And that A1 is a pickup leading back to the beginning of the A and also the beginning of the B. I'm going to do it slowly with a double stop. And then you go back to the A part. All right. So cool. You have all the pieces of the A part. Let's practice it using a slow play along track right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, so if you found that play along track useful, on FiddleHed we have full-length versions that gradually speed up, as well as long play along tracks. For each little quarter, we loop on those, gradually speeding those up, so you get the micro practice you need to get each part. Of course, you could do that on your own, but I think having play along tracks is a nice, natural way to just train yourself to practice well. In addition to getting the tune, you learn to practice well. So before we do the B part, I just want to take a moment to consider some kind of element of practice, how you could make your practice more fun and productive as well. So one thing is to think about is just the principle of alternation, alternating between something challenging for you and something a little easier. And so you do that challenge, you pull back, take a break, do something easy, and then go back to the challenge. So that you can do this on a microscopic level. So think about the tune we're learning, Kerry Polka. That first part, the double stop bit may be hard for some of you to get it really sounding right and well. So what you could do is you could play it single stops and then double stops. singles, right? So I went between like a basic version and a more challenging variation version. And once you kind of can do it, then you just loop on it continuously. All right, so that principle can be used to learn. It's really good for learning variation, but for practicing anything difficult. And then you can alternate at a more macro level. So say you've been working on the pulse, also in this, that's hard for you. Well, what you could do is you could work on it for a couple minutes and then go and do something easy, do another tune that like say No Candy Girl. Do something, I don't know, even Mary Had a Little Lamb. Something that you can be like, oh, I can own this, I know it. Then go back to the hard thing again. And keep alternating. I find that for me really useful. If I try to keep at a hard thing over and over, sometimes I just hit a wall. And so this is a way, like kind of a hack, so that you don't get stuck. All right, cool. Hope that was helpful. And now we'll get back to our regularly scheduled tune. We're gonna do the B part of Kerry Polka. Good news is all we have to get really is the first quarter, because that'll be the same as the third, and then the second and the fourth are the same from the A. Okay, so it's the same form as the way I teach it in the basic form, if you've done that, just to simplify it further. Okay, so I'll just play the first quarter of the B part with flow. Now more broken down. That bowing is consistent throughout. It's hoedown, long, short, short. Also the same bowing for the first and third quarter of the A part. Right? So let's just talk about it a little bit. We're going A2, open E twice. A2, 2, 1, open, 1, open. That's it. Okay? And if you weren't doing the hoedown, it would sound like, and then the original would sound more like. All right, so you can kind of see the connection. And then we just touch the double stop on beats 2 and 4, like 1, 2. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay, cool. So let's do the whole B part slowly. I'll count you in. 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, that's the whole tune. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for hitting the notification bell for any of those things or all of those things. And also thanks for all your comments and questions, because they help me learn too how to teach, what you need, what is not clear. Sometimes just I don't explain things as well as I could, or whatever. There's some little part that's missing. Maybe I made a mistake, and so you've all been very helpful. And just want to say thanks for that, and keep it up, and keep playing, keep practicing. All right, see you soon. Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more. Thanks for watching the videography. Excellent! And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.